I lived a very, very nice life. I still do, and that's because of my mom.
Some people may see you and know who your mum is, but who is your mum?
So my mom's Jamelia. She's a singer. She's been a singer ever since I was born, so I've never known anything else.
Because some people that grow up in privileged backgrounds, they go the opposite way, where they've been handed everything in their life and they've got zero work ethic.
You can go and make a book on Canva, you can sell it and make money from it and go. It cost me nothing to make the book on Canva. It also cost me nothing to use KDP for them to do it.
You're giving me goosebumps right now, by the way, because I get so excited when people talk about business, and I love that, and I can see the fierceness in your eyes when you're talking about it. You're actually lighting up.
Don't just be a consumer. The time that you spend scrolling on your phone, you could have been figuring out a way to make some money. Because everyone wants money.
Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of Women Empowered. Today's guest I'm actually really excited about. Her name is Teja, and I'll let her introduce herself to you. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Hi. I love that you said my name right.
Did I?
A lot of the time people get it wrong.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I love that you said it right.
Oh,
the first time.
good. I didn't even practice that. I just read it.
Read it. That's what I always think whenever I think, doesn't it just say what it, doesn't it look like
what
how
it
sounds?
Yeah. So what do people say?
Teja.
Teja.
Or Teja. And I always think,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who are you, Teja?
Well, I'm Teja. I am a writer now. Apparently I'm an author because I make books. So which is really interesting, because when I first set out to do what I was doing, that was never my thing. And now people are like, oh, you're an author because you make books. And I'm like, oh, am I?
Okay.
But most importantly, I'm a big sister. That's my role. That's something I take very seriously. So
amazing. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So for people that don't know you at all, they don't know your story, how would you sort of introduce yourself as what you do, what you're about, what your values are, and your missions?
I'd say that me personally, I've always been a very caring person ever since I was younger. I always wanted to make sure everyone was okay. And I always knew that I would do something. I just never knew what my thing would be. And I've had loads of businesses since I was younger. So because my mom always made money, my mom always had money. I was always very privileged. But I never wanted to be, what's the word? I never wanted to take from my mom. I always wanted to do things myself. I wanted to make my own money. Because I thought, well, she did it. My mom made her own money. So I should do the same regardless of what my situation is. So I've had my fair share of jobs, and I used to work anywhere. I've worked in a Chinese takeaway, coffee shops, you name it. I had a sunglasses business. I sold T-shirts. I've always been very business-minded and driven.
I love that.
But a lot of the time, I don't think any of them were passion projects. I felt like they just came from I just want to do it by myself, and I want to make my own money. I don't want to ask for money. That was I always hate asking for money. I hated asking for money from a very young age.
Why is that?
I don't know. Do you know what? My mom used to take me everywhere with her to work. And I used to see how hard she used to work, and I used to think, you should put in hard work and get your own money. Because the idea of seeing how hard someone worked and then being like, oh yeah, well, since you've done all that, can I take some? It never really sat right with me.
That's really good, actually.
It's never really been my thing.
So you grew up somewhat privileged, people say on the outside, would you say?
I wouldn't say somewhat, I would say definitely
okay, cool. I was trying to be,
No,
okay,
100%.
cool.
I lived a very, very nice life. I still do. And that's because of my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up privileged, but you still kind of saw your mum and thought, do you know what? I actually want to get my own, because some people that grow up in privileged backgrounds, they go the opposite way, where they've been handed everything in their life and they've got zero work ethic. But for you, it was the opposite.
Yeah, it was. And even with the things that I've done, I also benefited from privilege as well. That's one thing that I feel like is very important for people to say, because a lot of privileged kids say, oh yeah, I did it by myself. Even little things, when I had a T-shirt business, my mom invested in it. So that's not from scratch. Wow. I was still benefiting from privilege. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not something I'm ever going to be shy about, because it's the truth.
It's
and
the truth,
I feel like that's what people would want. That's why people work hard, because they want their kids to live a better life and be able to provide. And I think that's what my mom did for me. And so I'm
it's like, it reminds me of like Kylie Jenner, where like she's a billionaire now, right? And somebody got two opinions. People will be like, oh, you know, it just got handed to her. And then the other side was like, well, yeah, she had millions, but she made that into billions. She didn't have to do that, right? So she's still
had work ethic,
right? Exactly. So I definitely agree. So touching a little bit about your mum. So those people that don't know, some people may see you and know who your mum is, but who is your mum?
So my mum's Jamelia. She's a singer. She's been a singer ever since I was born. So I've never known anything else. I've never known my mum not to be famous. I've never known my mum not to have money. Wow. I've never known my mum not to be someone of public interest, of like for me not to be of public interest. So it's very unique. I've never known anything else. I have people bump into me now that I'm older and they're like, oh, you're the baby. And I'm like, okay, like they remember when I was born and stuff like that. So it's like, it's very interesting. But my mom's probably the most, not probably, my mom's the most stable character in my life.
Wow.
Yeah. So I feel like people know her for something else than I know her for. That's like the least that I would say about my mom, is that she was famous, you know? And I think I also had, growing up, touching back on like the privileged children side, growing up, I also had my dad's side of the family, which I think also kept me grounded, because when I went to my dad's house, I wasn't a famous person's daughter. I was just one of the kids. I have brothers on my dad's side, so I was just one of the kids. I was doing normal kid stuff. I was going to normal kid places. I was going to play scheme and I was playing outside. But then when I was with my mom, it was like a very different life. So I think also because I had the balance is what I think's kept me grounded and want to do things, because I've been able to actually see, oh, this isn't normal. You know, like this isn't how most kids are. Yeah. It's the certain things that are normal to you are not normal to everyone. Work hard is kind of what I got.
So you had the both to keep you grounded, which is really good. Another thing that I found really interesting about you is I come from a family of women. I'm one of 4 sisters, and so are you. Yeah. So my eldest sister, you know, she's amazing, and she works really hard. But I understand how, as the third born, you kind of have a little bit more of an advantage than the firstborn, because, you know, they're the first to do everything. They have expectations from parents. Parents sometimes don't really know what they're doing with their firstborn. Maybe make a few mistakes, and then once they get to the second, third child, it's a bit better. And maybe we get a softer version, a better version of mum than, you know, the eldest. So I do understand, and I did clock quite early on that, actually, and my husband's a firstborn as well. So I've clocked early on that, okay, firstborns, they go through it a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, you're a firstborn of 4 sisters. How would you say that that's kind of like, I mean, not affected in a negative way at all, but I would say, like, how has it affected your sort of mindset towards life, or has it at all, or has there been any sort of like impact on you being a firstborn?
I'd say being the firstborn has probably had the most impact on my life in many different areas. First of all, I feel like I grew with my mom. My mom had me when she was 20. So thinking to the mind you have at 20 years old, you're still learning everything. Yeah. You know, that's, I think you're a child at 20. Absolutely. If I'm honest. Like, regardless of what people say, you're a child at 20. I'm 24 now. Yeah. And I was a kid when I was 20. Same. I feel like now I'm only just slightly feeling like, okay. Okay. Now we're kind of,
I'm a little bit adult, yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like I definitely grew with my mom. I feel like my younger sisters have a very different version of my mom, and they have the version that learnt lessons from me. There's even some stuff that my sister, like the sister below me, so she's 19 now, that she was allowed to do, and I was like, where was this when I was younger? Like, my sister was going to school wearing makeup, and I was like, oh, but when it was me, it was no. So I just feel like over time it changes. But I'd say being an older sister, responsibility-wise, has a very lasting impact, and I think it's very stressful is what I would say. We had without like going into too much detail, we've had a very negative few years before we moved to Dubai, and we just went through a lot as a family, and my mom was not okay, my little sisters weren't okay, and it was my job to fix it. It was my job to be there for everyone. And even if that's not what it actually was. It felt like it was because there was no one else to do it. It was like I was the strongest in that situation. And even now, I don't resent anyone, but I can feel like now that everyone's feeling better, I'm like, okay, now I need to go and unpack, because I did a bit, because I did a lot, and I showed up in a way that is very older sister coded, you know? It's like I was basically the man of the house. That's how I describe it. And I'd say only over the past 6 months have I kind of let go of that responsibility of feeling like that. Wow. But for a few years, maybe 3 years, I was like the man of the house. It was my job to make sure everyone was all right emotionally.
Wow. And did that affect your relationship with your mum at all? Because I remember with my eldest sister, because she had a lot of responsibility on her, like my mum would work and then she'll be at home looking after us. You know, she kind of wasn't allowed, well, not that she wasn't allowed, but, you know, things that the carefree that her friends would have, just go out, whatever, she didn't have that because she had to look after us. Yeah. So, you know, it's a bit of like you have to grow up quite quickly, I would say, as an eldest sibling. Yeah. And I feel like there was a time when my sister and my mum, there was just constant kind of tension, misunderstanding. Yeah. Did you ever go through anything like that?
Not really. Me and my mum never really clashed. I feel like I just felt more protective over my mum. I feel like my mum changed. This is going to sound really strange, but my mum changed from being like my mum to like my little baby. Like I just felt like I had to protect her. And I think it never really negatively affected our relationship. I'd say now I find it very hard to be like, oh, that's just your mom, like let her be your mom. Now I'm trying to fix, like in my head I feel like I need to fix all her problems or jump in and save her. So we never had any like negative, we never clashed.
That's amazing.
I think we got stronger actually. Because we realized we kind of only had each other. So that was kind of how it was. Yeah.
And what is your, I don't know your relationship status or anything with guys, but I mean, what is that like? Like if you were to bring a guy home, what would your mum be like? Is she like really strict or is she quite welcoming?
See, when I grew up, it was a no boy zone. It was my mom was like, but it was like, if you want to, you have to bring them to the house, they can meet me. And I had one time where I brought someone to the house to meet my mom, and it went down, like it was awful. And I thought, right, I'm never doing this again unless I'm like very sure.
Serious.
You know, unless it's very serious. But also I just feel like growing up, we didn't have many positive examples of men around. So I think that also made me very wary relationship wise. I was never like the type that was like dating loads of people, if that makes sense. Yeah. And like even if my friends were, that was never me. I just didn't trust men. I was in a very like men are bad stage, you know, like because every man that had like crossed in and out of our lives had left, and not only left, they'd left in a very traumatic way that left everyone needing to heal. And so like I don't speak to my dad anymore. I don't like my sisters, that like it's just a lot. My uncles, like there's a lot of broken relationships. I don't feel like that now. Like I'm happy now. I'm in a happy relationship now. Yeah. But it definitely took a lot of work to not generalize men, you know? Like there are good men.
Yeah, there are good men. A few good men.
Yeah. a little,
yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask you about your what you've started up, and I think it's great. I think we're very much aligned in terms of like mindsets towards like helping women. Yeah. What inspired your Instagram is called Dear Little Sister.
Dear Little Sister.
Yeah. And yeah, what's this? Just give us a snapshot for those that haven't heard about it. What is it about? And also I want to know what inspired you.
So I describe Dear Little Sister as a safe space for young girls. It's what I wish I had as an older sister. You always wish you had an older sister. Like my younger sisters are fine. They ask me everything possible. They get, you know, even my sister's 19 now. That's like prime age to need some advice and some guidance.
Absolutely.
And you don't really want to be asking your parents certain things. That's just a fact. No matter what anyone says. Having an older sister would be perfect in those times where it's like, okay, you're like older than me, so you know, but you're also not, you know, you're like, you're halfway there. Yeah. And so like being a big sister to me has always been something that's very important. And I just decided I wanted to make a space that I wish I had. A lot of the time I always just used to think, where is this? Like, why don't we have this? And I say for younger girls, but even for people my age, I'm like, where's the people that are just going to give us advice? Not people who are showing us that their life's perfect or they've done it. Where's anyone who's going to say, oh, you know what, you might get this wrong, or this might happen and this is how you fix it. And then I just thought, okay, maybe sometimes you just have to be the space. And my grandma, who passed away a few years ago, she was like my best friend. And I remember she always used to say to me, she was like, sometimes you just have to be the person. And I just remembered that, and I was like, okay, cool, maybe it's my job. So I just started by making videos on TikTok, and literally just on different topics, whether it was periods or setting boundaries. And the amount of messages I got from young girls, but also parents, which actually shocked me, because I thought, okay, the girls are going to find this, but then it was the parents that would find it and be like, thank you so much for this. Like, I sent this to my daughter. Or they'd say, oh, my daughter doesn't have social media, but I make her watch all your videos.
Oh, wow.
And like, it touched me in a way that I was like, oh wow, like this is beautiful. But then when they said that, when a lot of them kept saying that they don't let their children on social media, so they don't get to see the videos directly. And I remembered when I was younger, my mom didn't let me on social media. I wasn't allowed social media. All my friends were on social media. I was just the odd one out. Now that I'm older, I'm like, thank God.
You get it,
back then it's like you feel left out. So I was like, okay, so how do they get this? How do they get what I'm doing online without feeling like, oh, I can only do it here? So then I started making journals. I've got 2 journals so far. I've got a 3rd one coming out this month. And I have a 4th one that I've made, but like, we're holding that one back because I want it to be part of a series. So I have the Dear Me journal, which is a journal for my sisters, and that was the first one that I put out. And I put it out, I created it. It's like an activity journal. There's loads of different activities in there, mainly for self-esteem and confidence boosting, because I feel like in this day and age, in this society, that's what girls need. There's too many of them are online. They're exposed to too many things, and they're also exposed to lifestyles that they can't differentiate between what's real and what's fake. I feel like as adults, as older people, we can be like, okay, like, I know you've set this up. But for a younger person, knowing how impressionable we are when we're younger, they're just gonna like lap it up and be like, oh, like, why is everyone else doing so great? Whereas we can see it and be like, okay, like, I know that's probably not.
We can sniff through it. Smoke and mirrors.
But I feel like for younger girls, it's important for them to just have a space that's separate to that. And my whole thing, I'm gonna sound like such an old person right now, but for me, like, anything to get young kids off their phones, I think is good. So that's why I started making physical journals, and they did very, very well. They did a lot better than I thought it was gonna do.
So talk a bit more about that. So your physical journals, they're like a diary sort of thing. How is like so if you were to purchase one?
It's literally activity pages. So we have, for example, there's like a worry box on one page, and it says write all your worries in the box. And on the next page, it's like you ship the box off. So we're saying like, get rid of your worries. And there's loads of exercises like writing down boundaries and what's things that you want to change. There's write a letter to yourself, write a letter to your older self. There's like gratitude lists, and just loads of different activities to just make you think. And I think I just wanted to make something for the girls. I feel like girls I feel like they need a little bit more love in this time. And so I just wanted to do that. It came, amazing. If I'm honest, why it began was because when I moved to Dubai, it was like the end of my era of like being the man of the house. It was like I wasn't needed to do that anymore. And I remember literally I sat there and I was like, I don't know how to do anything else. Like, I don't have any other identity other than being a big sister. Like, I was like, I don't know who I am, because I'd had so many years of just being someone to other people. So I was like, all I am is a big sister. I don't know anything else. I don't do anything else. And then I was like, okay, well, like, okay, you can work with this. You can still, let's figure it out. And then now I'm like, now I've got like thousands of little sisters.
You're a big sister to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That's beautiful. And your little sisters, you're close with them? You've got 3 little sisters? Yeah. And you've got a baby little sister as well,
I've got a baby. So I've got a 2-year-old sister, got a 7-year-old sister, and I got a 19-year-old sister.
Wow.
So we've got a nice little
you can hit them all different stages of their life.
And they all make good use of me as well. They all ask me for whatever they need, and I really like it. I think it's really good. And I think growing up with older sisters, I can see the difference in them to how I grew up. All three of them are way more confident than I was. And I love that for them, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a similar. When you're talking, I'm thinking about our dynamics with me and my sisters, and I feel like it's the same thing where like we kind of all leaned on my big sister. Yeah. Even a point where it was like, mum, or it was like almost not equal, but it's like 100%. She could give as much as my mum at a certain point, so even more sometimes. So you as your little sister, you don't ever think about their well-being. you're just like, oh, can I have this? Can you do this for me?
And I always say like my one like slogan or quote is big sisters need big sisters. Yeah, and they do. It like you really, really do.
They do.
So I always think like, I try not to be like you live with a regret or like what if, but I always just think like, I wonder what I'd be like if I had like a big sister, how I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Like not just a big sister, but this type of big sister. Because there's even some girls who message me and they'll say like, oh yeah, like I have an older sister, but like I don't really talk to her, or we don't really speak. Yeah. And it's like, you need a type of big sister that's going to be like, we can talk about this.
Very true.
And I'm also trying to get rid of taboo subjects when it comes to girls. I hate the fact that there's some subjects that, especially I'd say in black families, that it's like, oh, we don't talk about that. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, but all women,
like sex,
all
puberty, things like that.
Puberty, periods. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but all of us go through this. Why would we want them to like go in blindly? True. Why does that make sense? Why does it make us uncomfortable? I think that's also another conversation. Obviously there's an age, but I just feel I also wanted to get rid of that, because I'd hate the idea of being hit with something. Like for example, periods. I knew about periods before they came, but I knew a lot of people who didn't. Yeah. I know I have god sisters, I have cousins who were like found out about their periods when it happened, and I'm like, why wouldn't we talk about that before? Why would we wait?
It's true actually, yeah,
because we know it's gonna come. All women go through it. We all know what it's gonna be like. We all know what it's like in general. So imagine getting it the first time. I just feel like I don't know, the way I feel, I just feel like we all need to just grow up a bit, and as adults we need to actually be adults and help.
So true. No, you're so right. I'm a little bit like, I'm not as good as you, I guess, because I've got a little sister and she's 26. And even when it comes to like boys and things like that, I just don't I don't talk about it. I think I've inherited that African like parent style where it's like, I'm gonna talk about this, but I don't know what it is. What is it? Why don't I want to speak about it? Maybe I don't want to, I don't know, maybe I'm fearful of certain things that I don't want to like. I've got 2 daughters as well, so I need to, sort that out and talk about certain things. But like with periods, it's fine. But when it comes to like boys, and I'm just like, if I don't say it,
it's like you just don't want to.
Yeah, if I don't say it, then they won't happen. That's the thing. I mean, like, La La Land. Like if I just don't talk about it, it won't happen. But that's just not reality.
And I know what you mean. Especially like now, like with my sister being 19, it's like, okay, I know where we are. Yeah, I know where we are. I'm not gonna pretend I don't. I know what's going on. Yeah. I also know that there's a lot of young people who don't have a lot not guidance, and you're probably going to be around them.
It's true.
That's very true. That's also a very big part of it. It's like, it's not just about how we send you out into the world, it's about who you
are interacting with.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like, let me make sure I've told you
you're equipped. You hear it from me as opposed to somebody else.
And I feel like, obviously I've never had kids, so I don't know if I'll feel differently when it's my child, but I feel like that's why as a sister it's like, okay, we can talk about this. We're gonna have a real conversation. I wouldn't say I'll bring it up. I wouldn't be like, oh, let's talk about this, because I'd rather not. Like I'd rather not hear about anything my little sisters do with boys. However, I like that I've opened the space for her to feel comfortable to speak to me if she needs to. Yeah.
And it's good because you'd rather her come to you than go online or look on TikTok for advice or anything like that. You'd rather her speak to somebody that you trust, because you've got to be so careful online with kids these days.
100%.
So I want to talk about your journey to Dubai. So how long have you guys been in Dubai now?
We've been in Dubai for just over a year.
Just over a year.
So we moved in March. Yeah.
Okay.
So
last March.
Yeah.
Right.
Last March.
And how have you found Dubai? Are you loving it?
I love Dubai. I think it's like a breath of fresh air. I think one thing about us moving to Dubai is like when people are like, oh, like how was it? Like, how was the move? Like, we were kind of escaping. So it didn't feel like a really nice like move. It felt like we got to get away. And then we got here, and then it was like, ooh.
Wow.
And so I feel like only recently do I feel like I've settled in. I feel like when we first got here, I spent like most of the first year just trying to heal, get over stuff, get over certain situations, and try and unpack a lot. So I'd say it was very emotional. However, physically, this is the best place, I feel like, for us as a family, for a family of girls. Yeah. Just for us, very calm, very safe, very clean. Just, you know.
Clean, it's lovely.
Yeah, so I love it here, and we all love it here. Yeah.
And your journey with your journaling, Big Sister venture, did that start in the UK, or you started that when you were here?
I started it when I was here.
Okay, that's interesting.
I have a primary UK audience, and that's who I wanted to target. That's who I was trying to target. UK girls in the UK. And then it kind of just grew to like that I wouldn't know. Like, I have people buying it in New Zealand, and I'm like, how did you even hear about this? Or like the US. I sent a book to the Philippines yesterday. Like, it's just like crazy. And that's why I say, and I always try and say to girls on my page, like, any idea you have, just run with it. Don't let anyone tell you. Because I was told by multiple people, like, you're not qualified in anything. Like, being a big sister isn't a qualification. Well, it is.
Come on.
Because all I'm doing is giving big sister advice. So I'd say I'm fully qualified. After my few years, I'm a qualified big sister. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I started it when I was over here.
So let's delve into business a bit more as well. So like you said earlier that you've always like had really great work ethic, even though you came from privileged background, you've always wanted to get your own. And I love that, absolutely love that about you. And you've had businesses, you've always been delving in and out. So obviously now you've got this business. What would you say is like, because a lot of people want to start businesses, a lot of women actually want to start businesses, but they have a lot of limiting beliefs. So obviously you're at a point now where you've started your business, you're making international sales, and it's only going to grow from here. What, in your opinion, would you say is a major factor for people not starting? Like, did you have any limiting beliefs before you started your business at all?
I'd say one thing that we don't talk about is cost. I feel like people are definitely put off by the cost of things. As I said, I've had businesses with physical products, and, you know, when you take into account shipping and packaging and stuff like that, it's like, all right, do I have the money to do this? Most of the time, a lot of people don't have that spare income to just be like, oh yeah, let me just start. There is costs that go into business, and it is very important that you're set up for this. I would say for me, I was influenced by TikTok about a lot of people talking about like digital products, and I was like, what do you mean a digital product? Like, what are you talking about? And I saw a specific video of a woman saying that she makes all her income from digital products that she's made, and she was like, oh, I just have Canva. And I'm like, well, you can't just make things on Canva. And I remember when I was going to make my journal, I was like, well, can I make it on Canva? Because I already had Canva. I've got free Canva for free. I was like, well, surely not. And I made the whole journal on Canva, and I was like, okay, so how do I upload it? Because I don't want to be able to ship and then did it. Like, I don't want to have to do all of that. And then I found Amazon KDP, where they print it for you. They make the book for you. I never have a physical book first.
Wow.
Like, I order it so that I can see what it's like, and I'll quality control. But I don't like have a box of books in my house and
don't
then
keep the
ship
stock.
them out. No, they do it for me. They take a percentage out of it and they do it for me. And I think making things easier for yourself is something that a lot of people don't want to do in business, which you can do now. I feel like a lot of people feel like, oh no, like if I didn't have like the story of like doing that, like then it doesn't matter. Like, no, we're just trying to make money. And I feel like people never want to talk about money. And also people don't want to talk about how things are done. Like, I'm very open about telling people, you can go and make a book on Canva, you can sell it and make money from it and go. It cost me nothing to make the book on Canva. It also cost me nothing to use KDP for them to do it. Only when I make a sale do they take money. So I don't have a subscription for anything. It's like, and I'm all for sharing these little tips with women because there's enough money in the world for us all.
Around.
You could, and I make actual journals, activity journals. You can upload just plain notebooks onto KDP. You don't have to have anything in it. and people will buy a note. People always need notebooks. Do you know what I mean?
Wait. So you're giving me goosebumps right now, by the way, because I get so excited when people talk about business, and I love that, and I can see the fierceness in your eyes when you're talking about. You're actually lighting up. So TikTok, people talking about it, and then you're like, oh, what is this? And you looked more into it. So you don't have to have any money, because a lot of people watch business stuff and they're like, oh, you know what, let me just turn it off, I can't do it, I don't have 10 grand. So you can start with zero. You can have a digital product in mind, and you don't have to have any stock. So if an order comes through, then you contact, and how does it work, like logistics wise, like if you just get an order?
I have nothing to do with any orders that come through. All I get is at the end of every month, I just get paid with how many journals I've sold. All that's my job to do is to market these books, show people where to get them from, and hope that someone buys them. All I am basically doing is marketing. I've made the book, it's there, you can click it and you can purchase it, it will get sent out to you, has nothing to do with me. All I do is get the fee at the end of it. Whatever I make.
So they do all the logistics
everything,
for you?
Everything. The only cost I'd say that I put into making the journal is I have a laptop. Apart from that,
electricity.
Literally, and a phone. I haven't actually run any ads yet, which I know is a very, very good idea. But I haven't done any of that yet. So obviously that would be a cost. But everything I do, I upload on TikTok, I upload on Instagram, I upload on Threads, I upload on Snapchat, I upload everywhere I can, and all those apps are free. There's literally, when it comes to products that you make digitally, there's literally nothing stopping you. And I know people think why do people always say that? Why do people in business always say just work harder? I'm not saying work harder. I'm saying be smarter. It costs me nothing. If I want to go make a book today, I can go make a book today and put it on, and people will buy it. They can buy it from all over the world.
Wow.
You know, I encourage a lot of people to do these things. There's always a customer. There's always a consumer.
Go on,
and so it's about you taking it. There's people scrolling on their phones for hours and hours and
24/7
hours a day.
Everyone's on their phones.
Everyone all day.
So why not make money from it?
Exactly.
Right.
And it's like, my mom's always told me, ever since I was allowed to be on social media, she's always said, don't just be a consumer. Don't be a consumer. And that's what I'd say to everyone. Is the time that you spend scrolling on your phone, you could have been figuring out a way to make some money. Because everyone wants money. Everyone wants more money. Everyone wants money. Everyone's, it's something that people oh no, you shouldn't speak about money. Everyone wants more money.
It's important. It's important. Let's grow up.
Exactly.
If you want a soft life, you need to. It needs to be earned. Right. And you don't have to have a hard business in order to have a soft life, but you need to be smart about it.
Exactly.
So there is no limitations in terms of your capacity. So if you had an order of 1,000 books, 10,000 books, there is no limitations on your capacity.
Because they're always in stock, because they're not printed until they're ordered. So that's fine. I don't have a big stack of books at home. I have one of each book that I keep. I have some extras in case I bump into anyone. I have business cards. I made business cards. I did that on Vistaprint. So they gave me 300 business cards, I think. And on my business card, I have a QR code, which you can do on Canva as well for free. For free. And you can add your QR code on there. So when someone scans it, it will just take them to my link of everything. So books and all the social media pages. So that's a cost that I made. One thing that I do want to point out though is, because I say this is all free, you just need a laptop and you don't have to pay for these things, but I'm also privileged in the sense I have time, and I think that's something that we also, I don't work a 9 to 5. I don't have a 9 to 5, so I also have time. And one thing I don't like is when people speak about things and then they miss out the parts that allow them to do certain things.
The meaty bits.
So it's as much as I can say it is easy to do these things. It is. But I am also privileged with time.
I love that.
I have extra time to do these things. What I would say though is that even for people who say oh, I don't have time, which is fine, because a lot of people don't. But the time that you spend scrolling on your phone,
that's it.
Use that time.
That's it.
Use that time.
Right.
Sometimes when people say, oh yeah, I don't have time to do this, it's but if you check your screen time, it would say otherwise. If you check how long you were scrolling on Instagram or you were scrolling on TikTok, you've got some time.
Right. And, that's so profound what you said there, because we spend so much time on our phone without realizing it, because we are all addicted now. Dopamine, the quick dopamine hits you get from a scroll. I think they've said that these days social media is becoming more addictive than drugs and alcohol. So it is a problem. So, and one thing that if anybody works with me, if I've worked with anybody in the past, right, to help them their business, the first thing before we get into it is I say you've got to do a 14-day detox, 14 days off social media. Amazing. Because you don't know sometimes, like I like what you said, that although you have the time, not everyone has the time, but when you go even deeper than that, you actually had a passion for helping and being a big sister, right? So if anyone's watching and they're like, do you know what, I'm going to do this too, I think that's amazing. I feel like your why though has to be sorted out first.
For sure.
And your why was very strong, because your experience being a big sister, that was your why. And you not having a big sister and you wanting to help people, your why is strong. So when you just found kind of like a formula to slot in your why, then it was like, a match made in heaven. So focusing on your why, would you agree, it's quite important when you're starting up, especially a business like what you're doing, because you are impacting others, know. And I always say great business people, great business owners, they make a dent in the world. It's like you don't just go in it for the money is obviously massive part of it, but your why is super strong.
It's definitely different. As I said, I've had many businesses before, and I'd say this is my first passion project. This is the first thing that doesn't feel like a job to me. I sold sunglasses. I had a sunglasses business that did really, really well, but I just didn't really care about sunglasses. I don't care about sunglasses. I had a t-shirt business. I didn't really care that much for t-shirts. Do you know what I mean? So it's a difference, and it got to a point where I was like, I have to go ship out an order, or I need to reply to this person, or I need to go order new stock. Whereas I don't think anything to do with Dear Little Sister have I once been like, I have to do this. Everything is a pleasure. I can't wait. I wake up in the morning and I have 12 messages when I wake up from young girls asking questions, and I'm thank God you got to ask me. That's how I feel,
because it's making an impact.
Exactly.
There's different type of businesses, and when you start to make an impact, it's almost like the sky's the limit for that sort of business. The sky's the limit, because you can impact girls. It's not based. You're not confined by your location, even by your country. It's literally global.
Definitely. And I think also we're kind of in a time where a lot of people don't want to separate themselves from the business, and in my head, down the line, I'd hope that I didn't really have to be the face, and it would still live on, because it's about the purpose behind it isn't for me. I already have a platform, and so I used my platform I already have to redirect people to there. But after a while, I want it to be more of a hub, rather than this is my thing. You know, I don't want it to be you don't
want it to be about you.
It's your no. I just want it to be this is the place for them. The girls.
But I think I like your attitude towards your privilege, because the fact that you are in privileged positions compared to some, and you're maximizing yourself. You know what I mean? So it's that's smart as well. Although it could be a bounce off your platform, but that's just the beginning. You know what I mean? You're going to hit your audience regardless, but it's a good push in the beginning. 100%. And most people do that. When you think about it from a smaller scale, when you start a business, I don't know, selling cakes, who are you going to sell to first? Your auntie, your sister, your cousin, your friends. I guess it's the same thing, but just on a different platform. Definitely. So I think the idea is absolutely amazing. I mean, what plans do you have? What's the future for Dear Little Sister? How do you see it progressing?
I just want it to be the place that does the things for girls, does the things that girls need. So I have some product prototypes, which I know I was just complaining about physical products, but it's something that I want to do things that I wish I had. So anything that I think, we should have done this they should have had this when I was younger, or they should have done this. For example, my first period packs. So I'm in the process of making those. That's the kind of thing I wanted them to be, something that's integrated into schools, sold at the school shop, stuff like that. Because when I was younger, I always used to have a period pack in my bag. My mom made it for me, a little Ziploc. I had like just one of everything, just in case.
Just in case.
I didn't start my period at school, but I know a lot of girls did.
Yeah.
My younger sister did. And it's one of them things where it's like, let's just make sure we're all prepared.
Yeah.
So even just little things like that. I also want to put on events down the line. I want it to be a thing, like an actual physical hub. Anything that like just anything that like takes girls away from online, you know, to actually communicate with each other. A lot of friendships are based online. A lot of girls' connections are with people they don't really know. You don't really, you know, you just speak to them on the phone. It's like getting together and doing things is very important.
It's very important. Yeah. And I think Dubai is a really great place. I mean, for business, for someone like you in your position where, you know, you've got a business that's not confined to anywhere. This is a great place to network. I don't know, do you network much? Do you go to much networking events?
See, that's my that's one of my problems, is that I don't network. That's my problem. I'm a very I don't know if it might not come across now because I'm comfortable. I'm a very anxious person.
Really?
I get very anxious, especially if I'm in like social situations. I'm like, if you give me like 30 minutes to like defrost, then I'll be fine. But like I'm just like, what do I say? And also, I'm not very good at selling myself. So like sometimes if someone asks me like, oh, what do you do? Like in a group of people, I'm like, oh, like I just make journals. It's like just make like these little books. Like, like I'm like that person. And then it's like, no, like say what you do. Like be confident like you are. But I think that also might come from what we touched on like before we started, when we were talking about like being in the shadow of my mom growing up. And I never felt, I don't actually think I felt like that, but there's always that element of like, you're not like the main character. You're like, there's always someone who's like, and then you're just on the side. So I feel like I subconsciously have that thing in my mind where I'm like, oh, like whatever you're doing, it's just like a little thing. But it's like, no, like this is my business. This is something I've built. I should be proud. Like I work very hard. 100%. So it's like, so I need to network. That's what I need to do.
Girl, you do.
For sure.
Absolutely. In Dubai, come on, you can network. Your product is amazing.
Sure.
You know, you just don't know what doors it could open for you, you know, with what you're doing. It's phenomenal, to be honest. And, you know, your story leading up to it, your brand story. Because I always say, with anyone that I work with, what's your brand story? What is your story? Because transparency sells. And people want to know beyond the products. You know, you can give out as much or as little as you want. You have to, like, you know, do everything. But transparency sells. And, you know, your story is genuine. It's authentic. It's, I'm sure a lot of people will relate to it as well, you know, so... Absolutely, you need to get yourself out there. Come to my next event in October.
Okay, I'm there.
Make sure you're there.
I will, and I will network, and I will speak to people.
Yes, I'll force you to. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like, and you know that whole thing of like faking it before you make it. I do get that a little bit, because it's like, people only perceive whatever you put out there. So it's like, you're actually a very confident person, but you know, you're comfortable, you're confident, but it's like kind of like the you're not sure how people will perceive you, and also your status. But let's not ignore that. Like, you know, you don't know if people's intentions for you are good or bad. So I can imagine that from that could also make you a little bit like, I'm not sure. Let me just, exactly. You don't know if, So
I also think I've also grown up thinking that there's a lot more riding on my decisions. So I'm also very conscious of like, but you're someone's daughter, and every girl's someone's daughter. But you know what I mean? It's like, with my mom, I think I've always subconsciously been like, you can't really afford to be making the same mistakes. Like, you can't really afford to be like doing this, because then it will look. And I feel
bad.
like and as I've gotten older, I'm more like, no, this is like my life. Like, if I make a mistake, it's my mistake. You know what I mean? If I do something, it's me. It's just me. I think I just spent a lot of time where I was worrying about how things would look to other people, how it would affect other people. I feel like now I'm in my time of like, no, it's okay to do things for yourself.
That's it. And I'm sure your mum, your family, everybody is
Everyone's
like, come on, Teja, you can do it.
Exactly. But you know, it's just like, I've literally just always been like that. Like ever since I was younger, I'll put like 1,000 people first.
Wow.
And it's crazy, because it's like only recently, and when I say recently, I'd say over like the past 6 months, where I've been like, oh, maybe I should, you know. And I had this new thing where I keep saying to myself, like, if you just treat yourself how you treat other people, you'll be fine. And that's like, it sounds like it's really deep, but it's like, if I was as nice to myself as I was to other people, if I was as patient and helpful, then I'd be fine. I'd be a lot better. I'd be a lot more confident.
Yeah. And that's so transparent. That's so honest as well, because, you know, you can be hard on yourself for no reason, you know, and I feel like that's the thing with the elder sisters is that they've had to be serious for so long. So we are like crazy little sisters, and it's like, we know the eldest is going to sort it out anyway.
Like, sorry, it's like she's got it.
Yeah, she's got it. So we can be crazy.
Yeah, I've got it. And then we go and cry.
Hey, right, exactly. Yeah, but like you say, now's your time. And God is very good because he knows exactly what he's doing, how he's doing. So everything you've been through, there's a reason. And obviously your platform now and what you're doing, all of that is, you know, driven now into impact. So it's beautiful. I think your story is really, really beautiful. For any little sisters watching that maybe are, you know, let's focus on business with this. Maybe they're thinking about like, you know, I want to start something. I don't know how to start it. Or maybe they have some limiting beliefs. What advice would you give them, like for someone that hasn't got anything at all, but the thought is there, thought is there, but they just haven't taken any action at all?
One thing I would say is, the first thing I would say, which is quite strange, I'd say ask me. I'll answer. One thing about people in business is that you don't usually have someone to ask. People are either too high up to reply to you, or they don't feel like they know enough, so they don't say it. I don't know everything, but I can tell you what I do know. And I'm okay to ask people around me as well who I feel like, oh, do you know how to do this? And I feel like asking for help is something that some people shy away from. I don't think you should ever shy away from asking for help, because at one point, those people didn't know what they were doing either. And they would have had to ask someone along the way. So I'd say asking for help is very important. You don't have to do it the hardest way. You know what I mean? Like, I always say, just in life in general, like one day we're all not going to be here. And it's not going to matter if you did it the hardest way or if you struggled the most. You know what I mean? Like, just ask for help. And I'd also say there's a lot of resources right now. We are, as I always say, we're on our phones. And there's so many resources on your phones. I know people have like love-hate relationship. ChatGPT, I ask ChatGPT anything I need to know, and it will give me a direct link to where I need to go to find it, how to do it step by step.
So good.
Use it. I think it's just about using what we have. You know, don't just be someone who just consumes. Like, use it. Take it doesn't sound good, but take advantage of the people who are just consumers, because they're going to be your customers. Do you know what I mean? There's some people who aren't going to listen to this, but if you want to do something more, then just do something.
Just do it.
And it also doesn't have to be something that you're very passionate about. If your prime goal is to make money, go put some notebooks on KDP. And people, everyone always needs a notebook. Do you know what I mean? I know that there's people selling boxes of toothpaste and then selling each individual toothpaste thing. Like, people always need toothpaste. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, there's always ways. There's so many ways to get paid in this day and age. So many ways. Like, we just can't take it for granted. And the fact that we all have access to them is insane.
It's insane.
Like, there was a time where it was only the businessmen in the suits that would know this information. And now we've all got ChatGPT. We can all ask, oh, how did this person do this? How do you do this? And we can find it out straight away. Like, people in history wouldn't be able to believe it today that we have access to the same things you do. Some of the people that you see on podcasts or you see doing amazing things, they're using the same tools as us. They're using Instagram as well. They're using ChatGPT as well.
There's no Instagram Premium or anything like that. It's all the same.
They don't have anything like. They don't have any crazy technology that we don't have. We're all using the same. So I think just take advantage of it. That's what I'd say.
That's really good advice. Really, really good advice. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been really lovely, really fun, really insightful. I've learned so much about you. And for those people that don't know where you are, where to find you, where to find your page, where should they look for you?
So we are on Instagram, which is Dear Little Sister Gram. We have TikTok, which is Dear Little Sister Talk. And we have Amazon, where you can find all the books. If you go on our Instagram, there's a link and it will just take you to absolutely everything. I also have a blog page, which is every Thursday I upload blogs for young girls. That's also if they're not allowed on social media. We have like little chats about loads of different topics. So there's loads of spaces. where you can get involved. And if you have any daughters, nieces, or just young girls that you know that you feel need some type of guidance, or even just a safe space to feel like, oh, I can like talk here, or like this, Dear Little Sister's the place to go. Like, I would go there. I wish I had it, basically.
Yeah, me too. Like, it just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Teja.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next episode.